Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Look, Wrestling 101, classes in session. Pay attention to the teachings, that's from Andrew and Derek. I mean, these guys making a killing with no competition. Dynamic duo better than the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. Everybody make some noise, mess with them, you get destroyed. They cannot be beat, take a seat. Watch them do they thing on the MIC. Face defeat, they cannot be seen like JC. Oh my goodness, it's a killing spree.
This is the biggest. This is the baddest. This is the beast. And you're listening to Wrestling IQ 101. Right.
Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Wrestling IQ 101. I'm Andrew alongside Derek, and you can listen to Wrestling IQ 101 right here on YouTube, or if you search us on iTunes, it's Wrestling IQ 101 or the B Plus Player Network. You can find all of our old stuff and some new stuff. And also, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at Wrestling IQ 101. And today we're joined by Brian Pillman Jr. How's it going, man?
Hey, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? You know, just another day at the office. Went to the gym today. Just got back.
Awesome, man. Was today leg day or arm day? What was today?
It was actually everything day.
Wow.
I wanted to challenge myself because, you know, feeling really sore, so I took a few days off this week to recuperate. Got a match this weekend. I only got one match this weekend, so just trying to take it easy. But today was to kind of top off the end of the week. I did a little bit of everything.
Nice. Yeah, you can. I saw you recently, and I was like, yo, Brian Pillman's looking jacked, man. You can tell the working out is definitely paying off for sure.
Yeah, I've just been every week, every day. You got to take this business a little more seriously each day, and it's now 100% of my income. So every chance I get to improve myself, I got to take it. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, and you know it's so crazy because when I first saw you, the mullet wasn't even really quite there yet, and now you're the mullet god. I mean, how'd you come up with sporting that mullet?
You know, it's a great responsibility to be the guy when it comes to hair. You know, you got a lot of different guys out there. You got body guys, you got move guys, you got promo guys, and then you got hair guys. And being at the top of that ladder, it's no easy accomplishment, and it's constant care and constantly taking care of it, making sure it's in tip-top shape. Traveling all around the world, you get different humidities, different climates, and a lot can affect the mullet. So it's all about adapting and knowing who and where I'm working and who I'm working with.
Yeah, for sure. And you make it look good, man. I don't think too many people make a mullet look good, but you definitely do. Speaking of responsibility, you know, when it comes to, you know, being the son of, you know, someone who's so influential in, you know, the wrestling business, do you feel like any pressure is on you to, you know, prove that you belong with the rest of the guys, and, you know, it's not just like, hey, I'm Brian Pillman Jr., but, hey, I'm actually a great wrestler?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of that pressure, the pressure to perform and to live up to the opportunities that are thrown my way. I'm very lucky, very blessed that people are understanding of where I'm at in the business. But I think I'm coming to a point now, almost 2 years full of matches, you know, over a couple hundred matches, and people are starting to really respect the work I'm putting in and for its actual physical value, and not just, you know, like you said, having the name value coming in and stuff. And if you look at a lot of my earlier matches, I've always tried to be innovative, and I've always tried to deliver. But just a lot of the things come with time, and a lot of people will pick you apart if you have a poor performance here and there. But generally, I've always put a lot of thought and effort into my work, and it's really starting to show now that I've matured my style and things like that.
Sure. And I'd like to ask also, do you think, you know, being the son of Brian Pillman, do you think that helped you have a lot more respect for the business and, you know, take it a lot more serious than someone who probably hasn't, you know, had the same path that you have?
Well, absolutely. Wrestling has had a huge effect on my life. Had a huge effect on my upbringing and my childhood as well. Having the fact that my father was a part of it, and it took him away from me, right? So I have a lot that that I have to give back to the wrestling business, because a lot of what my father did has echoed in history for forever. So I really just, I know that it's my job, that I have something to live up to, and there's no other thing I'd rather be doing in the world. No other job, occupation, or anything else. I wouldn't answer to anybody. I wouldn't answer to a boss, whether it was Fortune freaking 500 company or anywhere, because I know that my boss, my true calling is a professional wrestling ring, and that's the bottom line to it.
Yeah, it's an
The fans are my boss.
yeah, they pay to get in to see you, and it's crazy because I was there at WrestlePro this past weekend, and you had such an incredible match and an incredible turnout. Fans were lining up to see you. I mean, how does it make you feel when you're getting to meet some of the fans that who've been watching you now for this short time that you've been wrestling?
It's great, like the fans up in that area, the Northeast, New York, New Jersey, are just some of the best fans in the world. A lot of my biggest matches and biggest turnouts for shows have been up there. I've been blessed with a lot of opportunities, and it really all started in the Northeast too. I think it was like my fourth or fifth match. I was brought in for CZW Dojo Wars just to kind of break the ice and learn a little bit of that newer style. So I've always had that as my second home.
Yeah, awesome. It's so funny. Every time, that I've seen you and interacting with you, I always thought like you were from over here. You seem like such a Jersey guy. Like maybe you just been hanging out here too much. But
that would be it. I definitely have a lot of fun when I'm in New Jersey. I just went out to Hoboken for the first time the other night. So that was fun.
Oh man,
I can only imagine.
that's awesome.
Yeah. All right, so now if I can be serious for a minute, no pun intended. How was it, the experience training with Lance Storm, and what are some of the things that you learned from him?
I get that question a lot, and every time I go back to that question, I think of more and more things that I realize over time, because the way he taught was that he taught how to he taught you how to wrestle for a long time. He taught you how to get the most out of your body. And now that I'm experiencing some physical pain here and there, and some different habits of mine that might not be beneficial in the long term for my body, I'm starting to go back and think about those times where Lance was like, oh, well, maybe you should bump this way or do it this way. That way it won't hurt so much in the long term, and things like that. So he had a very healthy training program, which he preached about being light with guys and really taking care of each other's bodies. So really that's the lesson that I've been reflecting on lately, is just how can I continue to do some high risk and high impact maneuvers, but without, absolutely killing my neck and my back and things.
Yeah, not a lot of people get the honor that you have. I mean, to be adopted into the Hart Foundation and the Hart family. I mean, how does that feel to continue that legacy and know that Teddy and D.H. Smith are?
Yeah, that's something I never really saw that coming. I knew that I knew that those guys existed on the scene, and I had such great respect for them. I never knew that they would ever give me a chance to be a part of their group, but just so it happens, like I said, I was up in the Northeast getting an opportunity with CZW, and Teddy Hart shows up and says, oh, we're going to make it a tag match, and it was just completely out of nowhere. He just, on his own dime, went up there and Teddy put his neck out for me and introduced me to the Hart Foundation and the family, and honestly, there is a lot of history behind that. My dad was great friends with Bruce and Owen and all them, and so I do feel like I belong, but I definitely didn't see that coming, and to see MLW put a stamp on it and make it official, it was truly a dream come true, and we've been off to the races ever since. We've been selling out arenas, we've been traveling, we've been going to Mexico, this, that, and the other. MLW has done so much for me and in building me up as a star, and also a force to be reckoned with going into 2020.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: who are you closer with? Are you closer with Davey? Or are you closer with Teddy? Or who do you have more in common with, rather?
Well, it's kind of a spectrum, really, because like I tell people, I got Davey's on one shoulder, he's my angel.
Yeah.
And then I got the devil on my other shoulder, that's Teddy. So it depends on what side I'm feeling. If I want to hang out and if I want to be a good boy and sit down and watch Japanese wrestling and maybe drink some vodka and hang out,
Uh-huh.
I'll hang out with Harry. But if I want to go out and party and get a little crazy and not sleep for 3 days, I'll go hang out with Teddy. So that's just how it goes.
Nice. Now, when you guys go out and party, do the cats come along with you everywhere you guys go?
Yeah.
Absolutely they do.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah, it's great because
The cats are the first one into the strip club.
I can believe it.
yeah, I grew up watching Teddy. I had the pleasure of interviewing him a couple times. I mean, one of the most interesting people in the world is Teddy Hart for sure, in a good way.
Yes, that was a good choice of words. Interesting.
Yeah, he's awesome. I've seen him do incredible stuff in that ring for sure.
Yeah. Now, when you face, a number of opponents, is there anyone, it's easy to ask you, like, what's your favorite match? But I want to ask you, is there anyone that you got into the ring with that you were just like, this is like a surreal moment and I can't believe, like, I'm actually in the ring with this person?
Oh, yeah, it was crazy when I got that opportunity to wrestle Liger up at Defy.
Oh, boy, yeah.
It was just such a surreal feeling. I almost, everything felt like it was meant to be, It was like all was right in the universe. We kept it simple. We had a tag match. I was able to wrestle a couple of the young Lions, in their program, their developmental, which, by the way, it's hard to even call it a developmental because it's just 4 guys, and they're just such elite guys. They're just such top athletes, top gaijin. And it would be an honor to be a part of a little clique like that. But just how skilled and how far they've come. You got 4 guys. They're only allowed to wear black trunks and boots. They're not allowed to do anything crazy. They each got their 2 moves, and they've gotten over and they've become quite some stars, if you ask me, over in Japan. And also New Japan is partnering with a lot of different indies over here to get their guys some American exposure too. So all around, it's just been it was a great experience and a good deal that I'll never forget that night.
Yeah. I was watching some old videos of H2 TV. I mean, how fun was it for you to shoot that kind of stuff? Because it just comes through the camera.
Oh yeah, and we've had some hit or miss episodes of that, but at the end of the day, it's just strictly organic. They're just putting a camera in front of us, and we're just having fun going on about our day, and I think that's a unique kind of reality TV look at things, where it's like we're not always super serious cutting promos, hyping up our match. Maybe we are partying a little bit, maybe we are hanging out, getting a little too cocky, a little too comfortable, because after all, we're the Hart Foundation, and who out there can mess with us,
Sure, it's a different view of the Hart Foundation from when I was growing up, because they were so serious, and they were hated in the U.S. and beloved in Canada. So, it's kind of cool to see you guys partying and taking things seriously in the ring. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we're just trying to give people an insight into the wrestler's life when he's not in the ring,
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to Teddy and Davey, on just like a peer-to-peer level, what have you learned from them too? I'm pretty sure it's just like working with them is just like working with a wealth of knowledge like daily. So what do you learn from those 2 guys?
Yeah, from Harry, I definitely learned a lot of the more traditional approaches to the art form. A lot of the nuances, a lot of the very small things. Also, with the fitness and training methods that Harry shows me are perfect for what we're doing. Teddy, on the other hand, is just a freak athlete. He probably doesn't have to go to the gym ever because his genetics are perfect and he can't fall down and he doesn't sleep. So, but he's truly a cat. But no, I learn a lot of the grassroots, a lot of the important things that makes wrestlers great from Harry, and then from Teddy, I learned a lot of the cooler stuff, a lot of the more fun stuff that you get to do in the ring with more experienced guys. And there's always that level, that bar to be raised with Teddy. Teddy always has a very strict, what he considers good and what guys should be doing out there. And so I'm always trying to add to my repertoire and level up a little bit,
Yeah, and what 2 great guys to learn from. What do you like to do when you're not wrestling? Do you like going to art museums? Do you like watch what's on TV that you like to watch?
Yeah, so like my roommate, we're pretty big on anime and stuff, but I don't always have time to sit down and watch stuff. If I'm relaxing, I usually like to, I play a video game or something, or just something to keep my brain active. I'm a very active person. Not to say that I haven't watched my fair shows in the past. I used to be a big fan of Game of Thrones and things like that, but just generally less of a TV guy, more of a gamer, I would say. Been playing. I grew up playing shooters, whatever, Call of Duty, Halo, different RPGs, Skyrim, MMOs, World of Warcraft, and then I played League of Legends for several years. So I've always been a very, very competitive gamer. I think my competitive side can also be fueled and funneled into pro wrestling as well, where I'm always trying to improve my game and improve myself as a performer. And it kind of goes with my personality of not wanting to be a spectator and want to sit down and watch from the sidelines. I was a kid. I played football in high school. I didn't like watching football. I liked playing it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and when it comes to anime, I was just talking to Andrew about how great I thought your shirt was, with the representation of Goku and Gohan as you and your father. You're a big Dragon Ball Z fan, and I mean it's kind of like a no-brainer how you came up with that idea, that T-shirt.
Yeah, it was something that for a long time I thought would be kind of nerdy or not cool. Like everybody wants to be cool in wrestling, so I didn't know if that would go over well. But believe it or not, it got really popular. Once I started realizing that the fans are just, they're just like me. They grew up in that era and they understand those different elements and stuff. And I was like, you know what? A lot of people would really relate to this shirt. So I went ahead and I gave it a chance. I pulled the trigger on it, and I'm really glad I did, because it expresses something that I've had in the back of my mind for a long time. I've always kind of had this idea that shirt represents.
Yeah. See, so that's how I was breaking it down for Andrew and explaining. See, I was telling him, you represent Gohan. It's like, Gohan, he was always stronger than Goku, but he just had to find it internally and, get to that level. And I felt, I don't know if you thought of it like that, but that's kind of how I thought of it. I was just like, it's a perfect representation for you and your dad.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it just kind of talks. It represents him helping me out through these hard times and through this business that I don't have much. I don't have a family member to guide me through at this time, but I have a lot of the brothers and people in the business and the sisters as well, that the workers that have helped me get to where I am today. So, in many ways, that's kind of his way of looking down on me, taking care of me.
Yeah, definitely. And then, the way I looked at it also is like Gohan started, being mentored by Piccolo, who was Goku's enemy at first, and then you got mentored by Kevin Sullivan, who was your dad's enemy way back when. So, how was it, that experience working with Kevin Sullivan? And I'm pretty sure you picked up a lot of things from him as well.
Yeah, Kevin was great early on in our MLW kind of build up and feud. Kevin was a big part of that, and yeah, like I've always said, he helped me get out to LA with the business out there. He really helped me think about that really gruesome side of wrestling. That getting that really that reaction, like, oh, like, holy crap, like that kind of reaction, not just oh, we're gonna do fun stuff and make everybody happy. He really taught me that darker side of things.
Yeah, it shows, because you have a mean streak in you. When you're in that ring, you have to, because otherwise you'd just be losing. But you kill it out there every time out there, man, for sure. Now that you're part of MLW, you're part of the independent scene out here. Who are some of the people that you're eyeing up? I mean, who's a couple people that you want to get in the ring with and face?
Well, I just saw Will Ospreay put out a tweet saying that he's welcoming challenges in the Rev Pro arena. That's the arena that I had some pretty good matches at. So that's definitely something I've been looking forward to for a long time.
Yeah, I could see that matchup. That's gonna be a sick matchup for sure. Are you keeping your tabs on NXT and WWE and AEW to see what they're doing every week?
I do keep up with AEW, especially AEW Dark. Because they're for free every every Tuesday and stuff. So I'm definitely keeping tabs on that stuff. I've got there's just plenty of content out there to absorb, especially with the New Japan program and all that. So there's no shortage of study materials, that's for sure. I've been looking at a little bit of everything. I don't watch as much WWE because that's a little bit more of a bigger media platform as opposed to just the wrestling matches.
Sure.
They've got a little bit more going on. It's a little harder to digest for me unless I've been watching it for a while. But I really do enjoy. Obviously, I enjoy NXT as well. So I'm looking ahead at the next step of where I might be going. You know, what's the next step for Brian Pillman Jr. and how can I get there? Right. I don't want to skip anything and miss out on a certain level of work rate that I should have to go through. You know, before getting to the next level. Right.
Yeah, and we can't wait to see that journey too, because it's going to be incredible. I mean, you're already having killer matches, and you're only 2 years in for sure. I mean, where do you see yourself, growing with this?
Where do I see myself going?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have. A lot of people want this or want that. They want the WrestleMania moment, but in my opinion, man, I've got my eyes set on something bigger. I don't call myself the Promised Prince for nothing, right?
Yeah.
I wanna bring wrestling back to the time when it was the biggest thing ever and everybody loved it. And, you know what I mean? Like I'm here to restore it to greatness. If that's what you want to hear, a lot of guys are out there to just kind of get by. Like some people, I can't wait to just survive in wrestling. Well, I've been surviving off wrestling since I started, and it's not about the money to me. It's about sending a message. It's about improving the product for the better, and to a point where it can be a very high level, athletic thing. It can be something that's enjoyed by people of all ages and all respects and disciplines. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's just bigger. It's bigger than that to me. It's a lot bigger than just, I want to, pay my bills and say that I was a pro wrestler. It's like, well, my dad did that. My dad made a lot of money, and unfortunately, he's no longer here with us. But his impact is, the things that he left behind. So what he did was he transcended the business, and if I was to truly live up to his legacy, that's what I would do, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it's funny that you brought up that point because it's kind of like that's kind of like the same views Cody has when it comes to AEW and him wanting to make a change. Do you think that's just like a generational thing to someone that has been in the business as long as guys and you have growing up in it and just being around it so much?
Yeah, I think it was just that it's almost like I feel like I have to give back because I wasn't around it as much as I wish I would have been. I wish I grew up in the business. I wish things went differently with my family and that of that nature. But definitely, I think I see a lot of myself in Cody. I think Cody sees a lot of himself in me, and we're just a couple guys that it's real to us. Wrestling is very real when you're a second gen, third gen, or whatever, because it does have an impact on your life, and the outcomes and this, that, and the other have affected your whole life. So, for a lot of people, wrestling is some fun little game. We're gonna go out and have fun and get our shit in, and this, that, and the other. But the guys like me and the guys like Cody, this is our life, and this is what we were born into. Once you're born into the game, you're in the game for life, right? Once you got skin in the game, there's nowhere else to really go with it, right?
Yeah, I remember when your dad passed away. I was just a little kid, and they had the magazine that paid tribute, and I had his action figures, and I was so devastated, but it's great to see that you're continuing that legacy. And, how did it feel knowing that some of these wrestlers, they talk so fondly about your dad, some of these legends?
It's really cool. Like for instance, the other night I just saw Animal, and he told me a really funny story that really brightened me up. So yeah, you get to see different guys, and you get to experience little road stories that they had where maybe my dad ribbed them, or they rip each other or something, and no, it makes for a really good time.
Yeah. Is it like finding like a piece of the puzzle, like another one, like maybe you didn't know about, like you said, you didn't know that story, but now you get a little bit more. Maybe do you find it more in common with him now?
Oh, absolutely. I think the more, that's why I always look for those vets just to kind of see if they got any cool stories for me and stuff. It's one of my favorite things to kind of walk around the show and, oh, who's here? Oh, okay. Well, Animal's here, and then so and so's here, and DDP is down there. I'll go say hi to him. So it's really cool, and to be sort of kind of not trying to sound like anything, but I'm like everybody's little brother, like everybody's little, oh, hey, it's Pillman's kid, like, because they know that maybe I don't have anybody to talk to, and they understand that where they're coming from and what they would want to happen if their son got in the business and stuff like that. So it's all just one big family.
Yeah, you're no stranger to the ladies. What is your type? Do you have a certain type? You like blondes, brunettes?
I try to say I don't. I try, but everybody does in a little bit of a way. I've definitely I've definitely experimented and dated a lot of different types of girls. But I think at the end of the day, everybody's got a little bit of a type. But in the past, recently, I've dated 3 different types of girls. So, but I'd say currently my type is just hot.
Hey, it's not a bad type.
Like that. But no, but I think there's a little bit of the Hollywood blonde in me, likes blondes and stuff. So I gotta keep it real. If I had a perfect type, it might be the girl that I've been dating lately. She's quite awesome. She's got hair like mine, blonde and curly, and I think when you're looking for a potential partner, you're looking for a little bit of yourself in them and a little bit of a commonality and common interests.
With that last statement you said about the blondes, you're gonna have all these girls out here dyeing their hair blonde now, man.
I know, and that's why I try to kind of keep my preferences to myself. And now all these girls are gonna be mad at me. They're like, "I thought you liked me," and I'm like, "I do, I promise." But no, I've just getting into wrestling. I've learned so much, not even just about wrestling, but about girls as well. The old veterans always tell you, they'll say, "All right, kid, make sure you have a girlfriend in each state. That way you save money on room when you go to that town."
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's some good advice.
There's all kinds of good advice I've been getting, and when you're traveling a lot, that's how you got to do it. You might not be able to have one committed girlfriend. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I hear you.
You might be seeing 3 or 4 girls just because that's the nature of the beast.
Did Virgil give you that advice?
Was that Virgil?
Yeah.
Virgil's the funniest. I love him.
Yeah, he's the GOAT.
He's crazy. Okay, so I'll ask you this question. This is a fantasy match right here. I'll put together myself. I want you to tell me who you think will win. It's gonna be Bret Hart. It's gonna be British Bulldog, your dad, against you, Teddy, and Davey Boy Jr. Jim Gamble is a special referee. Who wins that match?
Hold on. What's the match again?
It's going to be Bret, the British Bulldog, and your dad against you, Teddy, and Davey Boy Jr. And Jim is the special referee. So it's all Hart Foundation match. The old Hart Foundation was
the old timers are putting themselves there.
So you're saying Jim's going to screw you guys, huh?
That's awesome.
We couldn't enlist Danny Davis. He's still refereeing. Brian, where can people get you on social media if they want to connect, if they want to keep following your career as it grows?
Oh yeah, check me out on Instagram at FlyingBrian41 and Twitter at FlyingBrian Jr.
Awesome.
Yeah, man, we really do appreciate you taking out the time and talking with us here at Wrestling IQ 101.
Yeah, for sure.
And we can't wait to see.
You guys seem like a really cool group of guys.
Yeah, and we can't wait to see you continue and kill it every week. You can check Brian out on MLW. You can see him at your local independent show if he's in your area for sure. You don't want to miss him out. Also, you can follow Wrestling IQ 101 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Wrestling IQ 101. You can listen to us right here on YouTube or search us on iTunes at Wrestling IQ 101 or across all platforms against the B Plus Player Network. And yeah, we'll see you guys very soon.
I appreciate it.